Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley. Thanks for joining us on your Friday. I am the Security Research and Development Lead in OSS, and I'm in my final year as a grad student in the Master of Science and Computer Science program. I pivoted to cybersecurity almost 2 years ago, thanks to OSS. I've gained very valuable experience, including internship experience since then, and I look forward to working in the industry once I graduate next May. So something that was not obvious to me when I started learning how to hack in OSS was what pen testing is for. So today I'll introduce you to a methodology that's practiced by student and professional pen testers, and also help you understand how to apply the skills OSS will be teaching you in our workshops. If you have any questions, I'll have some time at the end for Q&A. And here's a glimpse of the agenda, what's to come. Okay, so here's a scenario. A company that uses payment cards for its services is found to not be in compliance with PCI DSS standards, a regulation that merchants that use payment cards must meet. They engage you and your team of pen testers to help them reach compliance. How would you go about your pen testing engagement? So, as an introduction to what's known as a pen testing engagement, here is an example of the steps in a pen testing engagement. Each well-organized red team follows a variation of this methodology that works for them. However fine-tuned the methodology is, I've noticed that there are 4 main phases of a pen testing engagement: planning, discovery, exploitation, and reporting. So pen testing is basically a proactive versus reactive and collaborative approach to strengthening an organization's security posture. However, it shouldn't be the only security measure an organization takes. For each phase, I'll be highlighting the goals and activities of a pen tester. Any items with stars are topics that will be covered in OSS workshops this fall. So the first phase is planning. In the planning phase, it is important to understand your client's objectives and risks, and also get written permission from them to hack and find issues before attackers do. I saw a number like 68% of companies consider pen testing as an important part of being compliant with regulations like PCI DSS. So be sure to define what the pen test is for, what kind of pen test you'll be carrying out, what kind of info you and other pen testers will receive, and who would be aware of the pen test. And also define a realistic scope of, so you don't hack what you don't have permission to hack. And also the timeline, which is typically like 2 to 6 weeks, and deliverables, which is what the client is paying for. The second phase is discovery. In the discovery phase, you'll likely spend as much as 75% of your engagement gathering and documenting as much info about the client as possible within the scope defined. Intel to search for includes valuable assets like employee and customer data, MAC addresses of devices, domains, and admin accounts. Threat modeling can help you consider threats the client may face, such as competitors, as well as find OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities like SQL injection and cross-site scripting, which will be covered in future workshops. Last week, you may have learned how to OSINT at our workshop, which is a type of passive reconnaissance. After my presentation, you'll be learning Nmap with Ryan, which is a form of active reconnaissance. I also want to mention that getting familiar with Windows and Linux systems will help. So in the third phase, exploitation, you want to try to gain unauthorized access into your target by exploiting vulnerabilities to achieve privilege escalation and lateral movement. With access to a privileged account, you can find high-value assets and controls, but avoid getting detected by cleaning up your traces. As you try an exploit with a tool like Burp Suite, or Metasploit, which will also be covered in future OSS workshops. Be sure to document what the exploit is, how you used it, and what happens as a result, whether the exploit is successful or unsuccessful. And finally, in the reporting phase, it's really important for you to communicate to the client what you found and exploited, how the findings put their valuable assets at risk, and recommend remediation of the vulnerabilities found. A common format of the report includes an executive summary of the engagement, an assessment of the findings mapped to vulnerability severity ratings like CVSS, and recommendations on steps to fix the findings. I highly recommend referencing reports from real pen testing engagements made public. Ideally, the client would invest in fixing these found vulnerabilities, arranging regular pen tests to reinforce those remediations, and taking steps that shape their security strategy moving forward. To support you on your pen testing journeys, I want to share my list of resources among many, many out there. Some things I would like to point out. Get familiar with the MITRE attack framework, the OWASP top 10, and even the SANS top 25. I've had interviewers ask me what I know about OWASP top 10, and stay up to date with conference talks and blog posts from pen testers. Also, it's really cool that Cal State Fullerton students get access to cybersecurity related ebooks through the library's membership with O'Reilly. And I also recommend getting experience hands-on by practicing with Hack the Box, which actually no longer requires completing a challenge to get access. So it's really easy to register now. If you don't have an idea of how to start Hack the Box, I recommend reading write-ups by people like Rana Khalil, who prepared for the OSCP certification with Hack the Box. I also didn't know pen testing was a job that you could do for a living until like 2 years ago. So here are some internship and job titles to look out for. And if there's anything I can answer for anyone, please let me know. Oh, I see a bunch in the chat. Hold on. Let me take a look. Oh, Nicholas, I'm reading your comment. I wonder if that's the coal fire case. Yeah, there have been incidents, but so I think it's really important to like maintain clear communication. It's hard though when there's a lot of bureaucracy. So the OSCP, actually one of the board members has direct experience passing the OSCP, Josiah. It's basically a certification for pen testing. It's a reputable certification. I wouldn't say it's a requirement to be a professional pen tester, but it does give you like street cred. And does the red team require experience? I would say instead of experience, like commitment matters the most, since I know the team trains rather rigorously for the competition. It feels like a sprint. So yeah, if you are committed to something like that, then I think that trumps experience. And then can you be held not liable if they don't communicate properly and you hack the wrong thing? That is a good question. I do not have the answer to. I guess it depends on how, if your company has your back or not, or at least like management. So, yeah, I think that's on a case-by-case basis. There aren't any more questions. Yeah, thanks for your time. And I'll hand it over to Ryan to introduce y'all to Nmap.